Hey guys, welcome to Runnergy, and today we're going to be talking about plantar fasciitis. Yes, that lovely pain that you can get on the bottom of your foot. So today we're going to be talking about shoes and practices that you can do to help prevent it, get over it, hopefully prevent it from coming back. I have been helping people with plantar fasciitis for over 30 years. I hope what I have to share with you in this video helps you out. If you like this type of information, if this helps you out, please like and share and subscribe. And with that, let's get on with the video. Okay, we're going to start off with what is plantar fasciitis. Why is one of the reasons that people seem to get plantar fasciitis? Why is it so common? Let's start with what is plantar fasciitis, and we're going to break it down into the word plantar and fasciitis. Plantar is the bottom, and fascia, it's like a fibrous material that runs through the whole body, and itis means inflammation. So it's on the bottom, plantar, it's a fascia that's on the bottom of the foot, and it is inflamed. So there you go. That's kind of your breakdown of what plantar fasciitis is. And then the question is, why do so many people seem to get plantar fasciitis? One of the reasons that we seem to get this is, at least from my experience, is that we do a lot of things to make our feet weak, unstable. When you have a weak and unstable foot, very easy to overload it. And when you overload something, it can get inflamed and cause discomfort. And what happens with plantar fasciitis is because it's on the bottom of the foot, it's load weighting. And so you constantly get back on it and you're putting your weight on it. Every time you wake up in the morning, you step down on your foot and re-irritate it again. So what also we tend to do is we wear shoes that are too small. My experience, 9 out of 10 people who haven't been professionally fitted are wearing their shoes too small. We also tend to wear shoes that are very stiff, that don't allow the foot to flex and move and be mobile. And so we have stiff feet. We tend to wear shoes that have this point in them, and so that's squeezing our toes together instead of letting them splay out like on some other shoes like this one. And one of the secret culprits also is socks. We not only wear socks, but most people I meet are wearing athletic socks that are for sport activity, which are tight and even exacerbate squeezing the toes together even more so. I recommend to people not to buy sport athletic-y tight-fitting socks wear all day into the market. Try to find super loose-fitting, cheap, loose-fitting socks. Maybe even go up a size. So if you wear a medium normally, maybe go to a large. So we do a lot of things basically to make our feet prone to overload and become injured. That is, unfortunately, that's just our lifestyle here that most people do. By what I understand is many places that have societies don't wear shoes. They use their feet. They have strong feet muscles and so forth. They wouldn't even know what plantar fasciitis is if you mentioned it. Then they would think it's definitely something in like more Western lifestyle of wearing these bulky and stiff shoes that don't flex. I'm going to go over some things here to hopefully help you prevent getting plantar fasciitis or get over plantar fasciitis. Okay, so what kind of features in shoes should you be looking at if you got plantar fasciitis? I find a soft, cushy, mushy shoe, believe it or not, does not help. I know it sounds like more cushion would be the idea, but when you step out of bed in the morning and your heel hurts, did you jump out of bed or did you step out very soft and gingerly and yet it still hurts? I'm going to guess it still hurts, even though you stepped out of bed very softly. And that's because it's not really an impact thing. It's more of a blood flow, recovery, a weakness in the foot, not a cushion thing. If you go with a shoe that's super soft and cushy and mushy, it's probably going to make it worse. A couple of things that tend to really help is a shoe with a higher heel lift. So something that has a higher heel compared to the front. So if this was like 30 millimeters thick, this would be 20 millimeters in the front. But I would pick something probably that is 8 to 10 millimeters higher in the back than the front. Another thing that tends to help out is a shoe that you cannot twist. Although something like this is even stiffer, but this has no heel lift. This is the same thickness back here than in the front. I could go with something like this and then add a heel lift, but it still won't have the heel lift that this has. And so I would probably lean towards a shoe with that higher heel lift that you still can't twist too much, and then maybe even add this heel pad underneath the insole inside the shoe for even more lift back here. Shoes that typically have a little bit wider platform here won't twist as much. So we're looking at that heel lift, that stiffer midsole in here, maybe with a wider platform. Either a shoe that flexes like right here at the ball of the foot. Brooks is usually pretty good at that. Or if it just doesn't flex at all, something like this. So those are the three key things that I would really look at a shoe. Couple other things would be that the toe box is not too narrow on you. Make sure that you have enough space in here. You don't want it too cramping. Again, you want to cramp you want to be able to splay your toes out. So even if you're used to your shoes being really tight, that's not good. Better to slip a little bit in the heel than to have your toes squeezed together. Another little feature is, you hear that? You want a nice solid heel counter. Brooks is usually pretty good, and so their shoes, they tend to have a very solid heel counter. This is gonna have like no heel counter. So if you don't want something that you can do this on, you don't want anything that you can do this on. If you got plantar fasciitis, you typically don't want that. Now maybe after you have plantar fasciitis and you're recovered from it, that's a different video, but maybe at that point you can maybe work your way to something like that. But right now, if you got plantar fasciitis, raised heel, a little bit of a wider platform here that's stiff, that you can't twist, solid heel counter, and plenty of room in the toes for your toes to spread out. So those are the features in the shoe that I recommend, typically have worked well for me when somebody has plantar fasciitis and they want a shoe that functionally will help in the recovery of that. Okay, so other things aside from the actual shoe that I do recommend that you do is consider an insole to put in the shoe. This is what comes typically in a shoe, and you can see it really doesn't do much. So something like this, I'm a big fan of the Superfeet. Again, I'm trying not to name any brands, but Superfeet is what I'm most familiar with. And the reason for plantar fasciitis is they tend to have a really good heel cup back here, and it provides even additional heel lift. Of course, again, you can still add another heel pad underneath the insole to raise your heel up even a little bit more. But then they have a nice piece in here that really adds some more torsional support. The arch inserts need to really fit well. So if it's not comfortable in there, then don't go with it. There's other things you can do. Stuff like this is a massage stick, or you can use a foam roller to like help foam roll your calf. So most people who have plantar fasciitis are tight in the calf and in the hips. Foam rolling your calves in particular, I'm a big fan of this. I would be doing that at least twice a day, to be honest, every single day. One in the morning, one in the evening. For the foot, you can get something like this. This is a fairly firm ball with these little bumps on it. You can roll underneath the bottom of your foot like this and get in there and really loosen up some of the bottom of your foot. This will help get some more circulation in the foot. You can also get just like a big old bowl of ice or frozen peas or something and just stick your whole heel into the bowl at the end of the day. So before you go to bed, like 5 minutes, I like to tell people 1 minute on or in the ice, 1 minute off, 1 minute in with all the ice, and 1 minute out, 1 minute with the ice, and then you're done. So like 5 minutes. You got to stretch your calves. Again, most people who have plantar fasciitis have tight calves. Hip extension stretches. So you might want to look a little research up and do some hip extension stretches. If you have a personal trainer or a physical therapist you're going to, again, you could ask them on some stretches. There is a stretch I have known for a while, and I do tell people, and it helps. It's kind of hard to show you here, but you're basically going to take your fingers and put them between your toes. Again, it's hard to show you here, but pretend it's your foot and you put your fingers in here, and try not to do this with your toes. Try to keep your toes down and then rotate your ankle 6 times one way and 6 times the other way. If you want a more detailed explanation on that, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video on that. So I hope that helps you out. One of the things I want to go over is what you can do after you've had plantar fasciitis and you're getting back afterwards, after you recovered from it. Slowly maybe dial back from these, more stiff shoes if you want to. You can slowly dial back. You might not want to go all the way to a barefoot shoe like this, but maybe somewhere in the middle. Again, while you have plantar fasciitis, you want to wear those probably stiffer shoes, but then you might want to slowly kind of draw it back to a little more flexible shoe like that. It would be nice if you could get back and go into, not back, but into a barefoot shoe. I mean, that's a good way to know that you got pretty healthy feet. So that is one thing. Try not to wear super tight fitting socks. Again, tight fitting socks, squeeze your toes together. If you can even get those 5-finger socks, you can get those toe spreaders. I've seen those gotten popular. I was selling those 10 years ago and now they seem to be getting more popular, but they can help spread your toes out. You do want to get the right ones that don't stick out on the bottom of your feet. So let me know if you want more information on the toe spreaders. I used to sell Correct Toes. That is a good one, but there are some other new ones that look very good as well nowadays and are less expensive. Got to make sure you continue to use your feet muscles, continue to do some toe exercises and foot exercises and mobility, foot and ankle mobility exercises. You want to continue foam rolling out your calf and your quad, continue stretching your calf muscles, hip extension stretches. If you're coming back from taking off time from walking or running, make sure you come back nice and easy. Don't jump into it too aggressively. I know you're going to be excited to want to get back to your old routine of walking and running and so forth, but make sure you come back into it. If you were doing 5 miles but before you got plantar fasciitis, don't just jump back into doing like 5 miles. Come back a little slowly. You don't want to re-get plantar fasciitis. If I haven't mentioned already, once you have plantar fasciitis, it's kind of common to get it again. So you don't go doing too much too quickly too often and just kind of get yourself back where you were, where you have plantar fasciitis again. So those are the kind of things that you can do afterwards, after you've recovered from plantar fasciitis, to kind of hopefully prevent you from getting it again. We don't want to get that again, do we? Plantar fasciitis, not good, not good. Wouldn't want to have it. So anyway, I hope that's helped you out here. Okay, so just kind of the recap on some of the products and stuff that you can get for helping prevent getting plantar fasciitis, or if you have it. Just a quick recap is those foam rollers, the massage sticks, inserts that you can put in the shoe, and the heel pads that you can put in either way, up or down. The ball that you can massage the bottom of your foot with. Don't forget a big old bowl with some ice or frozen peas and stuff that you can put in there. Toe socks, the toe spreaders. Get like a handkerchief or a tissue and pick it up with your big toe and your second toe to do some toe exercise and stuff. Know down in the comments down below. There's just a few tip suggestions on everything from footwear to some practices you can do to some products like the foam rollers and stuff. So anyway, you got a lot of information there. I hope that it helps. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next video. So if you like this stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Keep on moving. Moving. If you got plantar fasciitis, you ain't moving too much. So get rid of it and get back to moving. Moving. Are you moving? I'm moving. All right. See you on the next video.